Good morning. Good morning, students. This is the third video of lesson 4 of social science, how traders became rulers. So, in the previous videos, we have seen how the Britishers they came to India to trade, and slowly and gradually they started acquiring more and more territories and started ruling over India. Now, let's continue with Lord Dalhousie's policies of annexation. We have seen that how he used to snatch away the territories, annex the territories of the kings under the various He also helped the British traders by capturing different areas which produce tea, coffee, cotton, etc. so that they can earn huge profits. Now, let's proceed further. To consolidate the British rule in India and to run the administration smoothly, many changes were introduced by Dalhousie in India. So, to make the British rule more strong or stronger in India, what did the Lord Dalhousie do? He made many changes, introduced many things, and also so that the administration of India could run properly. What did he do? During his tenure, that means during his period of rule, the first railway line started between Mumbai and Thane in the year 1853 CE. The modern postal system started in India and wireless system between India and England too was started during his tenure. So you can just go on counting. Though he was a ruthless ruler, a very, very cruel one, but he also did few things which benefited Indian in the long run. He did not do all this. He neither introduced railways for Indians, neither he established postal system for Indians. All these were done for the betterment of British. But our people, that is Indians, also learned that this is possible because for doing anything labor is required, and for the British only Indian labor was possible because ultimately they treated the laborers as slaves. Whatever they did, whatever they said, the Indians had to do. So all these things which Dalhousie established, the railway system, the postal system, okay, wireless system between India and England. What is wireless system? Our telephones. So this was introduced during his tenure. He passed laws to ban child marriage and advocated widow remarriages. In olden times, you must be remembering in your earlier chapters of history, in earlier standards, you have learned that how there was, this kind of social evils or social practices, evil practices were practiced in our society where child marriage was compulsory. Whenever a girl child, she used to be of 8 or 10 years maximum, she used to her parents used to get her married. So he banned that child marriages and also advocated widow remarriages. Advocated means he promoted, he allowed that widow remarriages could be taking place. English education spread in India during this time. So, why did they establish English education in whole of India? You must be understanding this. See, what happens in any company, whether it is British East India Company or in a modern company of today, MNC. Okay, what happens? There are MDs, CEOs at the higher level of hierarchy, correct? But they also require many administrative people, administrative staff. Okay, from where will they bring such administrative staff? If they import all that staff from England, it would be very expensive for them. So what did they do? They started English education throughout India so they could get the Indians in the form of accountants, in the form of clerks, etc., at a very low paid salaries. Understood? So, English education was started by Dalhousie. Yes, you can also thank him. Because of him, we too are studying English. today. The first three universities in India were established in Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata in the year 1857 CE. Thus, these reforms were basically for the expansion of British rule and to ease the administration. Although Indians benefited later on, they had to suffer a lot with the introduction of British reforms. As I told you, he was a very, very cruel administrator. So he did all this, but at the same time, what happened? He did this for the betterment of only and only British. But later on, it benefited Indians as well. Now, dissatisfaction of the people. After the policy of subsidiary alliance, Dalhousie's policy of annexation shook the whole nation terribly. That means, on one hand, subsidiary alliance system, which was introduced by Lord Wellesley, it took away the rules or the reigns of the kingdom from the rulers, from the native rulers or the kings. And then came Lord Dalhousie. His policy of annexation, it shook the whole nation. This resulted in the dissatisfaction among the people towards the British. So, Britishers were not at all liked by the Indians. People were highly dissatisfied with them. You must have seen the film Kranti or Mangal Pandey. If you have not seen, then try and see these movies. At this time, the people were suppressed under the dictatorial regime of the British. In addition to that, the reforms made by Dalhousie added fuel to fire. So, in short, all these rules and regulations which were introduced by the British, they started suppressing the people. Okay, so obviously, if you are also pushed, forced to do something, you will not like that. So, people were not liking that. In addition to that, what happened? The reforms which were made by Dalhousie that added fuel to the fire. Fuel to the fire, that means we can say the fire was already lit by the subsidiary alliance system, and Dalhousie's reforms or his forcible annexations, they added fuel to that fire. क्या होगा? आग में हम और भी घी डालेंगे तो आग और भी भड़केगी. That is what happened. Different people reacted differently to railways, facilities of post and telegraph, and Western education. Orthodox people felt that British wanted to destroy their culture. The reforms done by the British were basically for running the administration smoothly. So all these rules which were introduced by the British, they were basically, why were they introduced? So that the administration could run smoothly. The dissatisfaction of people had reached a point of saturation, and they were in the state of rebellion, which resulted in the freedom movement of 1857. So, dissatisfaction reached up to a point of saturation. As I told you, आग में घी डालेंगे तो क्या होगा? आग और भड़केगी. That is what happened. It reached the point of saturation, and this resulted in the rebellion, which resulted in the freedom movement of 1857. So, understood this chapter, children? We end our chapter here. Thank you.